I'm Mark. Hey, let's go. Get in here. Let's go. We got things to do. Take a seat. What are you doing? Why? Does that make you a better person? Good grief. The wheel is turning, but the hamster's dead. All right, let's go. Get the door closed before my principal walks by. Why? I don't want him to see what I'm doing. Because I'm a history teacher, and I'm going rogue. So when you're teaching history in a classroom, you might find those students that are a little less than appreciative of the things that Grandma and Grandpa have given them. It's the nature of the beast. I try not to miss an opportunity to bring history to life for my students. I've been on the sideline of a few football games. I do what I can to bring history to life for my students, even if it takes professional sports. So today, we're counting down the best mascots in major professional sports. The NBA, the NFL, the NHL, and Major League Baseball. Now, this isn't based upon who my favorite team is. I don't particularly like professional sports anyway. Put it this way. If the Super Bowl were just kicking off and my wife told me that she wanted to go back and, well, fool around, I'd go. I know some guys that wouldn't. Priorities, man. But I digress. Mainly, I'm looking for the professional sports mascot that has some regional or historical connection to the area that it represents. I'm a history teacher. That's what I do. I'm also looking for some originality. Lastly, I'm looking for some intimidation factor. If you got those, you might be on the list. So let's go. The 10 best mascots in professional sports. Let's go rogue. Number 10, the Minnesota Twins. Not much intimidating about children that are born of the same mother at the same time, unless they're like the British Bulldogs of the old WWF, or those girls from The Shining. History Teacher Gone Rogue seeks mascots that are relevant to the region. We like it even better when the meaning is hidden, when it requires that all the synapses to connect to the hemispheres of our brain. Follow along. Minnesota, of course, is dominated by the commercial capital, Minneapolis, and the political capital, St. Paul. These two cities face each other across the Mississippi River and are referred to as the Twin Cities. Number 9, the Milwaukee Brewers. The largest brewer of beer in the United States is Anheuser-Busch in St. Louis. During most of the 1800s, though, before Busch bought up all those Midwestern breweries, the brewing capital of America was Milwaukee. Come on, even America's sweethearts, Laverne and Shirley, were bottlers at the Schatz Brewery in Milwaukee. When I was a kid, when the home team hit a home run, Bernie freaking Brewer, would slide down a slide into a beer stein. How awesome is that? Answer, it's freaking awesome. When I was 6, I wanted to slide down a slide into a stein full of beer. My parents were smarter than that, though. Presbyterians. The Brewers don't do that anymore. In Miller Park, Bernie not-so-freaking Brewer slides from one platform to another. Then he picks up a flag and waves it. Not awesome. Bring back the beer stein. Number 8, the New England Patriots. The Boston Patriots started playing football in the old American Football League in 1960. We think of the beginning of the United States as being the 13 colonies, but the center of revolutionary activity in the colonies was Boston. The Boston Massacre, the Boston Tea Party, Concord and Lexington, Bunker Hill. If you were a tax collector for the British in Boston, you were likely to be slathered in tar, have feathers thrown all over you, and hung by your ankles in the middle of Boston Common. No other city could match Boston with their patriotic fervor, with most of the names that we associate with the Revolution being from Boston itself. John Adams, John Hancock, Paul Revere, Sam Adams, Boston. But when the franchise moved out of Boston to Foxborough, Massachusetts, the management team changed the name to the New England Patriots. To be more inclusive, I guess, to represent the entirety of the northeastern United States, and to so honor the patriotism of other American revolutionaries like Roger Sherman of Connecticut, or Ethan Allen of Vermont, or Williams of New Hampshire, or some guy from Rhode Island, right? Inclusive. Way to go, Patriots. And now we honor modern-day New England Patriots. At number 7, the Baltimore Ravens. I love this mascot. Baltimore truly forces the synapses to fire. Follow along. It seemed that the world stopped when the Colts moved out of Baltimore to Indianapolis. If you're going by regional significance, the Colts were the perfect moniker for Baltimore. The city is home to Pimlico Racetrack, where they run the Preakness Stakes. the second leg of the Triple Crown. I suppose that there are horses in Indianapolis, but in Baltimore they had horses. Then the move. And for years, the memory of Johnny Unitas and Gino Marchetti would be only that, only a memory. Then Art Modell came knocking for greener pastures for his beleaguered Browns. The city of Cleveland asked the NFL to save the Browns' name for a coming expansion team that would later come to their city. It was that important. The NFL agreed, and now the nameless team from Cleveland moved to Baltimore. Baltimore had a blank slate, and they did it right. Rather than going with lions or tigers or bears, oh my, they went rogue. Baltimore looked at what was significant about itself. This was the home of Edgar Allan Poe. Unfortunately, the Baltimore Poes may have brought something else to mind. Instead, the team went with one of the great works of Edgar Allan Poe and called their team the Baltimore Ravens. Nevermore. Number 6, the Minnesota Vikings. Historical and regional significance? Eric the Red never set sail from International Falls or Bemidji, launching raids into Iowa or North Dakota. How does the Vikings moniker fit Minnesota? Well, as Americans moved westward, there was a huge demand for lumber. The lumber harvested from the forests of upstate Minnesota had to be cut by somebody. Companies harvesting the lumber didn't have time or the resources to train huge numbers of Americans, so they recruited lumberjacks from Scandinavia. Therefore, Minnesota has a lot of communities with names like St. Olaf's and Adolphus Gustavus. Number 5, the Boston Celtics. Again, historical and regional significance. We love that. That's going rogue. During the 1800s, the largest group to migrate to the United States was the Irish. Sure, more went to New York City, but the Irish became the largest national group in Boston, and the city still celebrates Irish heritage better than anyone else. One way is by honoring them with their NBA franchise, the most successful NBA franchise in NBA history, the Boston Celtics. Another way is through St. Patrick's Day. One of my best friends is an Irish guy named O'Mahony. That's him, no it's not, take that back. I taught and coached with him for 9 years. One St. Patrick's Day, we were sitting around the lunch table, and he told me something his grandfather told me. He said, "Hey, Jerry, if you see a man wearing an orange tie on St. Patrick's Day, you punch him in the mouth." Yeah, guess what I've worn every St. Patrick's Day since? Rogue. You know who else does St. Patrick's Day right? McDonald's. Last year on St. Patrick's Day, my daughter asked me to take her to McDonald's for a Shamrock Shake. They were out. How does a McDonald's run out of a Shamrock Shakes on St. Patrick's Day? I had to drive 8 miles to the next city to get her a Shamrock Shake. And as I was driving home, I looked over at my daughter, and she was crying in her shake. Number 4, the San Francisco 49ers. Gold was discovered in the Sierra Nevada mountains east of Sacramento in 1848. It took 1 year for news to go around the world and for fortune seekers to reach San Francisco Bay. Hence the term 49ers. Do the math. Some ships reached San Francisco Bay and their crews headed off to the gold fields, leaving their ships filling up the harbor. It was the gold rush that made California. The population explosion that accompanied the rush put California in a position to become a state, and today, the world's 6th largest economy. Great historical and regional significance of San Francisco 49ers spawned other teams using numbers to represent them as well. Number 3, the Pittsburgh Steelers. Where the Allegheny and the Monongahela come together to form the Ohio River is the city of Pittsburgh. Named for Prime Minister William Pitt after the British victory in the French and Indian War, Pittsburgh was a sleepy little backwater until Andrew Carnegie showed up with his Bessemer process for making steel. The result was the world's first billion-dollar corporation. The NFL franchise became the Steelers, and they chose the yellow and black to match the color of the sky during Pittsburgh's heyday. The people of the city didn't mind the yellow-tinged sky over the city because it was the color of money. It was the workers of Pittsburgh steel mills that built the bridges, the railroads, the cars, and the skyscrapers that built America. It was the steel from Pittsburgh's mills that defeated the forces of slavery, Imperial Europe, of fascism, communism. While other mascots are significant to a region of the country, the Steelers' significance goes beyond Western Pennsylvania, extending nationwide. Number 2, the Dallas Cowboys. The Cowboys became America's team in the NFL during the 60s and 70s, playing classic football games on the frozen tundra of Lambeau Field. Super Bowls against the Steelers and the Broncos. An absolutely proper moniker in terms of historical and regional context. I suppose it's just the simplicity of a single star as the team's logo. Like the Steelers, the fans of the Dallas Cowboys go far beyond the Metroplex. The Cowboy has become the symbol of America. From the Marlboro Man, to the man with no name, to Ronald Reagan, to John McClane, Cowboys are America. Yippee-ki-yay. The greatest Cowboys, though, are the ones from Dallas. Staubach, Landry, Randy White, Ed Too Tall Jones, Tony Dorsett, Emmitt Smith, Michael Irvin, J.R. Ewing. No wonder the Cowboys are America's team. I grew up a Southern California boy. In the summer, an LA Dodgers fan. Ron Say, Davey Lopes, Bill Russell, Steve Garvey, Tommy Lasorda. New York Yankees cut my heart out 3 times in the 1970s. Reggie Jackson. 3 home runs in 3 at-bats. I have a profound hatred of the New York Yankees. Nevertheless, the New York Yankees are the number 1 best mascot name in professional sports. What other professional sports franchise can claim a Hollywood movie in its honor? Today, I consider myself, to be the luckiest man, alive. What other professional sports franchise can claim a Broadway musical in its honor? But hey, whatever Lola wants, Lola gets. How about that 80s hair band featuring Tommy Shaw of Styx and Jack Blades from Night Ranger and the Motor City Madman Ted Nugent and drummer? It cannot be denied that the Yankees are the most well-known, most respected, most sold, most appropriate moniker in professional sports. Even the pinstripes are synonymous with the Yankees. See, this map shows which team has the most fans in each county of the United States. See how the people in Seattle are Mariners fans, or the people in Texas are Rangers fans? The black indicates Yankees fans. A friend told me they went to a Diamondbacks game in Phoenix and he saw more people wearing Yankees hats than he saw people wearing D-backs gear. It seems like everybody is wearing Yankees hats. Look at Indiana Jones. Sure, Indy only wears his fedora, but look at Short Round and Jacques. I hate snakes, Jacques. Like the Cowboys, the moniker of Yankees goes beyond New York. During the Civil War, the term Yankee was applied to soldiers from the North. A conversation between a soldier from the North and a soldier from the South usually ended, "See you in hell, Johnny Reb. See you in hell, Billy Yank." Today, there are those in the South that still curse the Yankees. The term has profound meaning now beyond the United States. American influence in Latin America affairs made the term Yankee a profane term in Central and South America. So, for its regional significance, its historical significance, its notoriety, the pro sports mascot that is most appropriate to the city it represents, the best moniker in professional sports, is the New York Yankees. Was I correct? Did I miss an awesome nickname? Are you upset that the Red Sox didn't make the list? Do you have such profound hatred of the Yankees that you won't even let some history teacher tell you that that's a great moniker? Let me know in the comments below. Hey, like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video or if you learned something about the world you live in. I want to thank my producer, Michael Cox, and to thank Mr. Brent Allen for letting us use his studio here on the campus of Columbia High School. I hope you had fun. I did too. But I don't quit my day job. I hope to see you again real soon. Remember, I'm Mark Haggard. I'm a history teacher. And I've gone rogue. Hey, you know who's going to like this list? Chavez. He likes the Yankees and the Cowboys. Front runner.